Diego has $100 and he's spending a quarter of it. We all know how much is left just looking at this, right? How much is left? $75. He spent a quarter. He's got 75 left. But what I'm going to do, we're never going to do this again, just one time to make sense of why this is going to be what we end up doing to get the answer. Okay? Here's why. In context, this step 1 says Diego has $100 and I'm subtracting a quarter of it away. You guys good with that? I take a quarter of it away. Okay. Now this next step is the one that's a little trickier because depending on how much you remember from last year, here's what's happening. Do you guys see like there's 2 terms right here? First term, second term. Okay, and those terms have what factor in common? 100. So you can, like, undo distribution, it's called factoring. So really what I'm saying is I can divide 100 out of each of those terms. So if I divide out 100 and put it in front, what's 100 divided by 100? 1. And what's negative 1/4 times 100 divided by 100? Negative. I said what's negative 1/4 times 100 divided by 100? Negative 1/4, which is right there. It's undoing the distribution that happened there. Okay? I'm just going to have to undo all that. One sec, I got you. So, if you imagine step 2, if I were to distribute that 100, I'm just back up at step 1. Do you see that? Okay? So, it's called factoring. If you don't know that, write it down. Factoring. We factored out that 100. So, would you next agree that 1 minus 1/4 is 3/4? And if I want 3/4 of 100, that would have me have 1/4 gone. That's what that says. We're never going to go through that process. We're just justifying why it is 3/4. So let's look at number 2 and 3. What you're going to do with a partner is this person makes $1,800 a month. A third of it goes to rent. How much is left? You need to multiply 2 numbers together to get the answer. Okay, 2 numbers. And then there's x. You're going to reduce x by 1/8, but you need to multiply by just 1 number. X times 1 number. So get after that with your partners, please. This time, I'm looking for a volunteer to tell me what 2 numbers to multiply by to see how much money is left after rent. Zeph, what we got?
It would be 1,800 times 2/3.
Correcto mundo. If we're missing a third, we got 2/3 left, right? It's nice. What do you think looks easier to do, by the way? All this up here or just this down here? Just that. Just 1 and done. Okay? And then for 1/8 less of x, who's got just what I need to multiply? Kai, let's have you do it. 1/8 less. If I want 1/8 less of x, how much am I multiplying x by? 7/8 x, yep. If 1/8's gone, I'm left with 7/8. We good?
Sweet sauce.
So we're going to see this next. This is, COVID changed this, but this is really how things were for years. When you buy a new car, it depreciates pretty rapidly. In this case, this brand new car that's 18 grand depreciates by 1/3 of its value every year. So the first thing you're going to do with your partner is say, after 3 years, is it going to be worth nothing? Why or why not? Next, you're going to fill out the table and write an expression to show the price for the number of years. And you're going to analyze when t is 0 and compare it to another car. I want you to notice this is essentially the parasite and bacteria problem, but it's different. Same thing, only different. So, after 0 years, we got 18 grand, right? So let's look at the table and then answer number 1. So after 1 year, how much is in there? 12,000. After another year? 8,000. After another year?
5,333.3 repeated. Okay, thank you.
And 1/3. And then before we go to 6, so after 3 years, am I at 0?
No, some people make that mistake.
So nope. Yeah, it's a good mistake. It isn't linear. Something like it isn't linear. I'm going to say 1/3 of less money is less.
It's dividing, not multiplying.
Kind of. It is multiplying.
Well, yeah, it's but it's like, basically, just like take it around the back.
So,
Like,
I'm going to go expression next. Okay, Meredith? So, for this, T for time, what am I starting with, everybody? And then to my 18,000 over and over and over, I'm multiplying by 2/3. I think it's easier to get to year 6 by starting with this. Anybody else doing stuff like that? I like starting with the function. So I'm going to go over here, number 3. I'm going to write my equation. The total cost is equal to 18,000 times 2/3. Where am I getting that 2/3 from?
That's how much it is decreasing.
That's the first after you subtract.
That's how much is left after the third's gone, right? 1/3 gone, we're left with 2/3. So now, to get my 6th year, I'm going to put 6 in for t. So I'm going to say v equals 18,000 times 2/3 to the 6. And what do we get? You guys didn't do that one? All right. So let's all practice typing in our calculator. Because fractions are a little more challenging potentially. I'll type in 18,000. 18000. Left parenthesis. Boom. 2 divided by 3. Boom, boom, boom. Right parenthesis. Boom. Exponent 6. 1,580.25.
That is what I got.
So again, I have a lot of kids saying we can't do fractions in our calculator, but I'm going to say fractions are division. Right? If you put that division in parentheses, it is that fraction. Right? So that's how much it's worth after 6 years. Then we're going to find when t is 0. T is 0. What does that mean in context when t is 0?
When the cost is completely new.
What is t's cost?
T is close. No, sorry.
T is years, so 0 years, right? So before we even do this, what should it be? It should be 18,000. And let's make sure. This is further proving that a 0 exponent pumps out 1. Because 2/3 to the 0 power is 1. Times 18,000 leaves me with 18,000. That means year 0, 18,000, right? Makes sense. It hasn't been cut down by 1/3 yet. All right, there's a different car here. And here is its function. I need a volunteer to tell me what the 10,000 represents in our function. Elsa. Starting price. All right. And who can tell me what the 4/5? Meredith?
Like after when you're only 4/5 of the value.
Yeah, that's so you're saying a 1/5 off leaves us with 4/5, right? We're going to call this, before we had growth factor, this is going to be our decay factor. And like Meredith said, if there's 4/5 left, that means it's decreasing by a value of 1/5. Also could call that 1/5 20%, right? And historically, until this COVID stuff, this is what cars did.
Now they kind of go up.
Up or stay the same because of shortage, but once that all gets figured out, it'll be back. It'll be back. At least I'm hopeful it's going to be back. I'm driving a beater, and that thing's not going to last forever. So I need those car prices to come down a little bit. All right. When you see me biking to school next week. All right, let's look at this one. More practice. A digital camera loses 4 1/3. Or sorry, $400 loses 1/3. Who can tell me what to multiply by?
2/3.
Well, that was pretty quick, but also blurty, but I'll take it. Okay, 400 times 2/3 would get me there after 1 year. I'm going to make this a function by putting it to an exponent. This is just a lesson. I'm just looking at for more practice to get us practicing these two things. I'm going to hit you with this cool down. Once you're done with the cool down, the homework's on the corner of the table. I'll put answers to the cool down up in a moment. So I'm not going to check it with you one by one. I'm going to let you finish. Grab the homework off the corner up here, and then I'm going to throw it up for everybody to check. There's one really common wrong answer I've been getting today. It's been really cool. Here's what I started with. I started with the function 800 times 2/5 to the t. Okay, that's the equation. P equals, okay? I went out of order. And then I said the total is 800 times 2/5 squared. So my calculator, 800, 2 divided by 5 squared. And I got 128.
Yeah.
Quite a few people got something in the 200s. What'd you do?
They multiply by 3/5.
They multiply by 3/5, which it means it only loses 2/5. Good.
Oh my God.
Hey, Good mistake. Good mistake to make now. Good mistake to make now, right? Okay.